What up, y'all? Welcome back to the Industry Plans Podcast.
What is good? Episode 162.
Back at y'all, man. After a very, very nice week, bro, in sunny LA, I feel good, bro. Is global warming real? Because why is it so hot in the wintertime?
Yeah, it's way too hot. I'm not actually fucking with this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really mind it. You know what I'm saying? I see people freezing in other places in the U.S. I feel very nice right now. How are y'all living, though? I seen Osei outside this week.
Just a normal week. You know what I mean?
It was not a normal week, see?
Suited and booted.
Because normally we see Osei on his stories on the gram. You know what I mean? If you don't follow him, make sure to tap in. But we got a Reels post from this guy.
Oh, yeah. No, they were gassing my head. They were like, you got to post this as a reel. I'm like, let's do it, man. Digital marketing. Let's go.
Hey, man. What did you pop out to?
Wait. On the reel, I got to let you know that I was in an Uber and there was a conversation that was had that was basically along the lines of, why is it that every time I open my phone, I see this reel of Osei? Why have I seen this reel 6 times? Is this guy truly the best digital marketer of all time?
Oh.
Because there's no reason this should still be at the top of my feed. So did you pay someone at Meta to boost that reel and make sure all your followers saw it 100 times?
Man, I can't really speak to that. You know what I mean? I can't really speak to that. But shout out Olivia Dean because she had an amazing project. And that song, I feel like really complimented the video in a way that they just sent it up. You know what I'm saying? Shout out her.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to Olivia Dean for also sweeping the Brits. I know y'all don't want to talk about it, but I fuck with the Brits and, great performance. She had Album of the Year, Artist of the Year, all of it. So shout out her. Mm-hmm. The Brits are way cooler than the Grammys in terms of like actual awards, like the physical trophy.
Okay.
Like I think the physical trophy the Brits give out is like the coolest trophy you can get.
The Grammy trophy's kind of lame. It's just like a horn or whatever.
Yeah, it's like an old phonograph. It's all right.
Don't get me wrong. I will take that. Let me know when I can get one.
I will
take that.
I'm not mad at it. I'll take that one. Spencer, how was your week?
How was my week? It's hot, bro. I don't do very well in the hot. There's no AC. I have no AC in my apartment and no AC in my car. Yeah. So my week was just covered in sweat.
Okay, I feel you.
Yeah. No, but it was good. It was good. I mean, I'm living life, chilling. Bouncing around. Actually, I have no idea how my week is. I don't remember anything.
You move around a lot.
Yeah.
As someone who like deals with you and I talk to you pretty often, I can tell you're in transit a lot.
Yeah. And honestly, I'm mostly setting myself up for this next week because I'm about to have a pretty crazy life-changing 7 days. You know what I mean? And I'm looking forward to it.
Life-changing?
Yeah.
Okay. Talk heavy then.
We'll have to get a breakdown next week.
Nah, man. Yeah, I've been chilling, bro. Honestly, the best thing for me has been this fitness shit, bro. Going to the gym consistently has just made my head so much clearer, bro. I feel ready. That's why I was late to this shit, bro. I'm like, if I want to be my best self for the people, for the podcast, I got to get a little workout in the morning. So, man, health is wealth, bro. Definitely prioritize that.
You're lucky. I fucking can't even train for my marathon because y'all want to hang out for 10 hours every Sunday.
It's so much fun, though. It's so much fun, though. Someone who is a really buff nigga who might be on steroids, because I think that's why he's so angry, actually.
It's a crazy transition.
I'm telling you, bro, 50 Cent, bro.
Yes, sir.
Because I think, like, to get into the mind of 50 Cent, you have to understand, like, the motivation. And as someone who's really tried to do that for years, I can't.
I don't think anyone can.
How are you always on? If you've lived under a rock, you haven't heard about 50 Cent basically harassing T.I. to the point of a beef that may turn a way that none of us wanted to.
Well, let me also asterisk your statement. If you live under a rock or under the age of 30, you might not have heard about this.
I mean, I feel like 50 Cent transcends old nigga shit. Because, yeah, the rapper 50 Cent is old, but like Power and all that stuff, I feel like even people our age have been tapped into it. And 50 produced it. He's in his actor bag. Like,
yeah, I think you get 50 Cent and the young kids might be interested, but then you follow with T.I. and I think that
you
lose them.
Because so the whole backstory to this is T.I. and 50 have had previous beef. And this has been well documented, but it's in their younger days. And now, as older men, it seems like they might have moved past it. And there was a conversation about a potential versus. And 50's up. 50 has retired from rap. He's moved on. I think he's made the statement that I don't really need to get in the booth no more. T.I. dropped a new album before he retires, but before this point, he had been still an active rapper.
Yeah.
He wanted this versus and was like, yo, let's do it. And was kind of pushing for it, talking about it, like trying to get it, but it never felt like it was like beef. It was like, oh, like let's get it done. And
well, because 50 verbally, supposedly, according to T.I., 50 verbally confirmed that they would do a versus.
Yeah.
When they spoke in LA.
But like in LA, niggas lie every day.
For sure.
Like, you know what I mean? Let's get up, bro. Let's work. You know what I mean? None of that means anything.
But also, if you tell me, yes, we're doing a versus, and I say, okay, well, let's lead into it. You know, let's talk shit. Let's get online. Let's like fuel this. Then I have every right to do that because you verbally told me let's do it.
You have those friends who have a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
Really passionate.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of shit. Some of them may be up. Some of them may not even be up yet. But like, I'm talking about the up ones right now.
Yeah.
The ones who have money, who are doing things, and they come up with ideas like, oh yeah, we should do this, this, and this. But like, that shit never really materializes.
Well, you can spin them until it's time for action. But from what I understand about the conversation that they had, T.I. was like, all right, I'm going to heat up online. I'm going to start shooting. I'm going to like get the promo run rolling out. So like at this point, 50 Cent needs to say, no, we're not doing a versus if you don't want what's coming for you.
I agree.
Either way, eventually 50 was like, all right, I'm done with this. I don't want to do the verses. And he starts shooting back and he takes a shot at T.I.'s wife. Now, T.I.'s wife is also the mother of T.I.'s son, King. But he's like, I'm not taking no disrespect to my mom. Fuck you think this is, bro? So he hops online and starts talking crazy about 50. And he's the one who really heats it up and then mentions 50's mother who passed away when he was 8. So now we're talking about people's dead moms, people's wives. Everything is fucked up now. And T.I. then drops a diss track. King keeps talking and is making posts with graves and stuff like that. And it's like, 50 has kind of responded a little bit, but...
With memes.
Yeah, I don't know. I know this is old nigga shit, but how do y'all feel about this beef after we're coming off maybe seeing it in a different era with Drake and Kendrick last year? Like, does this feel different?
I think a lot of what you said, there's a lot of what you said that isn't kosher. You know what I mean? I feel like speaking on, you know, people's dead parents, all that, like that's not cool. But I do feel like when it comes to rap beef or rap battles or whatever you may call them, I'd like to hear music. You know what I mean? If you're gonna shoot at somebody, the shot back should be music.
T.I. dropping music though.
If you're gonna no, I'm saying 50.
Oh yeah.
I'm saying 50. If you're gonna engage with music. If you're gonna do the verses, say you're gonna do the verses. If not, don't do the verses. You have money, you have power, you have influence. Like, I feel like he's just handling the situation wrong. And I think the tide has really turned with this last song that T.I. dropped. I think it might be over for 50 in terms of like being seen in that light as, well, I don't know. Was 50 ever really seen as like the strongest like rapper?
Yeah.
I feel like 50, I'm a little bit like younger, I guess, for like listening to 50, but I feel like 50's biggest songs are all more commercial to me.
I don't think... I mean,
like lyrical, like surgical rapper.
As a rapper.
No, yes, but like
but
lyrical,
not in the
surgical,
last
like
15 years.
But I'm saying,
like 50's been retired. 50 is a mogul.
That's what I'm
Other
saying.
rappers have challenged 50.
Yes.
Rick Ross has stepped to 50
Yes.
recently.
You know what I mean?
Like, I think everyone was very aware that 50 is not gonna respond.
He was never gonna rap.
50 was never gonna rap. So I fuck with T.I. dropping like what, 4 songs now?
Yeah, just
like,
so you know I could.
And not for nothing, T.I. has a song that's going right now. The Let 'Em Know track produced by Pharrell is fire and it's working. Like, it is streaming and it is moving. So like to me, that's what makes this beef exciting.
Everyone has made the right decision.
Yeah, if it was all YouTube songs, you know, like just T.I. 50 disses, I'd be like, all right, whatever. You know, but the fact that there's a song on streaming that I really like to play, fueling this, I'm gonna listen to the T.I. album now.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have, you know what I mean? So I'm kind of fucking with it.
That's where I am at with this. Like, I think everyone is doing exactly what they're supposed to do. 50, you're rich, you're a mogul. It's unfortunate that he has to hear the stuff about his mother. Obviously, no one wants to deal with that, but like, you're too rich to really do something that could get your life or career really fucked up. And at this point, you haven't been rapping. I don't think there's any point to like get in the booth and do that.
Well, I disagree with the first part because I don't feel like T.I. is punching up.
What do you mean?
I feel like these are equal status
I didn't
of
say
legends.
I didn't say they were.
But like T.I. is rich too. T.I. has a whole show about his family.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Like,
no. 50 is different rich than T.I.
Yeah, but I don't think it's right to phrase it like 50 has nothing to lose and T.I.
50
or if T.I. has nothing to lose and 50 does.
I think 50 has nothing to gain.
What, you don't think so?
I don't think that 50 rapping is going to lead to anything or do anything, and I don't expect it to be this big crazy thing. And I think that when it comes to lyricists, they're equal, and T.I. might even be a little bit better.
T.I.'s a better rapper than 50 Cent.
So it's like there's no point in him getting in the booth like that. And he has enough money and enough other shit going on that his respect as a rapper in 2026 doesn't really matter. He's still going to be a legend. People are still going to play his songs. Let T.I., who has something to gain, fire away and do this shit, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Because you were disrespectful already, so you have to take what you dish out. If 50 hadn't said anything about his wife, then he could have a reason to be more upset. But because he opened that door, he can't be mad that T.I. is taking his shots. Now that he's not continuously mentioning his mother, he said what he said and kind of let that die, and now he's moved on to other shit. Let them both do what they're going to do. This is going to blow over. T.I.'s going to drop a project, and I hope it's great. But like...
50 has something to gain.
What?
Defend your city, bro. It's New York. You got Atlanta fucking invading right now, bro. I feel like these are the two guys when you marry commercial success with ability from the 2000s that represented both those places.
Who's the biggest New York rapper right now?
Right now?
Besides Cardi B.
Besides Cardi B, is there anyone? That's like really...
I don't think 50 has anything to defend.
Why? Oh, because New York, you're saying New York's nothing?
New York hip hop isn't really touching Atlanta hip hop right now, so I don't think 50.
But this isn't about right now. This is not about right now.
What is he defending? I don't think he. What you said, New York?
Yeah, but not New York right now. Like you got two titans from different regions of an era going at each other. Like defend your city. Put on for New York. New Yorkers would rally behind it, I think.
Wear some Timbs, bro.
Ah, man, it's difficult. I want to form a fully formed opinion and thought about this, but. Something to me feels like 50. It's not that New Yorkers wouldn't rally around 50, but besides Pop and rest in peace, Pop Smoke, what has 50 really been doing to empower like the youth in the music space in New York?
He's done with music.
No.
But I think he's empowering the youth in film and
that's
TV.
what I'm saying. I think film and TV, he's done an incredible job.
He was close with Pop.
That's what I said.
He was his dad.
That's what I.
Oof.
I shouldn't have been the one to make the joke.
No. It's all good.
You guys know what I'm talking about, though, right? It's a real thing. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. Also, Black History Month's over. I'm just kidding.
Nah, you got to double down.
I'm just joking.
I'm going to go with my previous point, which is that I'm not saying, because I don't want to get this misconstrued. I think 50 has done a lot to empower like the youth in New York in terms of film and TV, and he's put a lot of young black actors on, period. I think in the music space, that hasn't happened in a while, which the only reason I bring up is that you're saying New York is going to rally around him, but who do you have to rally around him if there's nobody that you've ever supported or put on?
Fivey. Bow.
Exactly my
Fivey's
point,
damn
man.
near the same age as him, bro.
I don't know if that's a good argument. I just want 50 to rot back.
I think what you said is, I think what you said in essence is true. I think 50 is not necessarily focused on making music, which is probably why we haven't gotten a commercial response from him.
Hey, get that hate out your heart, gang. That's all I have to say to 50. Not that deep, bro. Be nicer. I don't know. Speaking of other Atlanta legends, I want to talk about Summer Walker real quick because I want to defend her. I feel like she's getting undue hate, but I'm also not going to blame the people who are kind of sending that hate her way because I think it's because of miseducation. If you follow the Shade Room or any other surface level blog of that sort, you may have seen a video saying Summer Walker doesn't pay her producers. And the clip starts off with a dude who's washing dishes saying I'm on like third shift, but I was like a producer on Summer Walker's album. And then it switches to someone who we actually know who said I was the only female producer on Summer Walker's album and I'm like still can't make rent next month. And I think that this is a very unfortunate situation and it highlights a very big issue within the music industry. But I also don't think this is something that Summer Walker is necessarily like someone who has to hold all the blame for. I think that what we're seeing now and what these people are talking about is how hard it is for producers and songwriters and people behind the scenes to get paid. And on top of that, how long it takes and just how much of an arduous process it is to even get what you're deserved, and how people are always looking to short you at every turn.
So as someone that's done this on the management side and A&R side, can you just briefly break down the whole process? Yeah. Of doing a deal and getting paid for a production credit?
Well, I think a lot of it even starts to how the songs and the records are even conceived.
Right.
Because you have to think that like when you show up to work every day, right? And we put in our 8 hours, we get paid for showing up. Songwriters and producers could show up to 50,000 studio sessions in a year, rent out time, have people come into their space. And if none of those records come out, they may never see any money from that, I think that there's really dope situations where like if you look at in Nashville, a lot of the time before you even want to go work with someone or even before you want to go into someone's space to work with a producer, you have to pay them a certain amount to use their equipment, do all the stuff. Now it's getting to the point where a lot of like the highest, I'm talking about like very, very few. Some writers are now saying, if you want me to work on your song or come in the room with you, you have to pay me. But for the large majority of these people, they're just praying that these songs get released, and that's how they can even start the conversation about getting paid.
Which is crazy to negotiate retroactively.
Exactly.
But it's the only thing you can do without putting out any creative spark.
But once you're credited as a producer and you've worked on a song and the artist team reaches out to the management or to you saying, hey, this is going to come out, they come with an initial offer. Hey, this is what we're thinking, 99.9% of the time, there is no upfront fee attached. There's just percentages of the song that other producers are getting, you're split, whatever. And maybe if it's a good team, they might throw you a little bit of a producer advance if other people on the song have agreed to it. But if you're new and green and they kind of know that, they're probably not even going to offer that advance to you when they initially send you that paperwork. It is then up to you and your team to now get together and establish, what is our rate? What do we traditionally charge? What are we willing to go down to? It's typically a sliding scale. Do you want more of a percentage in the event that you're taking less money up front? This is a whole thing that you now have to get together with your team and decide, and then you go back with a proposal to these people. Now, every time that happens, you're probably going to get a call, or your manager's going to get a call, and people are always going to give you pushback. They're never going to want to take, this is a negotiation process, the same way anything goes, you know what I mean? So you're going to, you know what I mean? Like, if you want to get into the negotiation and the weeds of that, you know what I mean? You can go somewhere else who's better versed in that. But you know, you have to get into that and just deal with the fact that these people who are going to use your work and have already decided that they love your song are now actively trying to say you're not worth what you say you are. That in of itself is already just so mentally draining for these creatives. You put your all into this song, you've worked on all these sessions, and you finally feel like you got your moment. And now you're getting the people who are using your work telling you you're not worth this most of the time.
Which is why you need a manager.
You know what I mean? So you don't have to deal with that interaction because it's so difficult and like that's draining. But a lot of people don't have that.
Yeah.
Especially if you're getting your first cut.
Okay, but say they agree.
Yeah.
Now what happens? Because I think this is where it's getting fucked up with Summer. Honestly, I don't know. I haven't spoken to any of these producers, but I'd assume that they probably reached an agreement in terms of fee percentages, deal structure, and they're waiting on money.
And keep in mind, while you're in this negotiation process, the song might already be out.
Right.
While you're still going back and forth and nothing has even been confirmed yet. So now they agree to your fee, whatever, Now you have the paperwork. And all the shit goes back and forth, and you have to get signed, and there's W-9s involved, and all of this different stuff you have to fill out to get registered into these systems and everything like that. And that's just to collect your advance and get your percentages and everything registered. You then have to report that to whoever your publisher is to collect your publishing fee and like continually get that as the song continues to do well, and you're accumulating streams and royalties and all of that.
And now the label's paying these budgets, right?
Yeah.
So now you're dealing with a separate entity, because before you've been dealing with Summer Walker Management, but now you're dealing with LVRN, who funds the Summer Walker deal at LVRN?
That is Capital.
And so now you're dealing with two major labels that are working across entire rosters that have two A&R coordinators.
Well, no. You're dealing with, so when you're talking to them, getting your fees and stuff together, it is the management and the label kind of in tandem. And then when you have to go register your publishing, now you have to deal with the publisher if you even have that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of producers who don't even have a publisher and aren't even collecting that money because they don't know what they don't know.
Yeah.
They haven't had anyone even set that up for them. You know what I mean? Because you do have to register with like the ASCAPs, the BMIs and all that shit. There's so much back end shit that happens before you even get paid. And for these people that don't have representation or someone in their corner that can kind of vouch for them, it really puts them in these fucked up positions. But it also puts Summer Walker in a fucked up position when these people speak out like they rightfully should, but all of the blame gets placed on her by the public. Because I don't think when these people are making these posts, they're directly pointing at Summer as fucking them over. It is nice when you have an artist who's an advocate for you in the room. But a lot of the time, say you never worked in the room, it's a beat that got sent, they don't always know. So there are situations where like they can't do what they don't know,
I agree, but also I think of it a little bit like Summer Walker's the CEO of the Summer Walker company, and like when you're getting fucked by Universal, you're going to yell at Lucien Grange, even though he probably didn't actually have something to do. It's probably lower levels. Summer could expedite the process. Well, but I want to ask, where do you think it's getting fucked up right now? Like, where do you think the money's at? Do you think the producers didn't negotiate a fee? Do you think that like why haven't they been paid based on your assessment?
I don't want to put any blame on the producers because I don't know their situations with their teams. So it would be unfair for me to say you should have this, this, and this in place. You should have done this and this because you may not know better. So I don't want to do that. I would place the blame on management and the label for not getting it more buttoned up before the project came out.
Yeah, because to me, I do assume that there was an advance here. Like, I do assume that they have a fee if you're dealing with Summer Walker. You know what I mean? And I bet it was agreed upon. And I think they're waiting on being paid out. We've seen how long it takes labels to make payments. So to me, it's like, it's probably getting held up with A&R admin at Capitol Records, waiting to get the money. And while I think it's mostly the team's fault, I do think Summer Walker could make a phone call and get that money expedited.
Well, but here's the thing. It's on A&R admin's desk. Who has a bunch of other things, right?
Yeah.
And they are not thinking about pushing through this invoice or whatever or registering this paperwork right now because they have a bunch of other things to do.
Yeah.
And so this person who has a random email, say it's johnbrown@gmail.com, is now emailing this person with 1,000 other things in their inbox, right?
Yeah.
So they even, while they're scrolling through their shit, aren't even recognizing it. Not making an excuse, just explaining the situation.
I've been the coordinator at a label that's not onboarding someone because my boss is screaming at me about the Grammys.
Feel me?
So like I get it.
So feel me?
Yeah.
And then so it's also like, then the only person who can push this issue forward that is really going to get an answer is Summer Walker's team. And then when I'm looking at Summer Walker's team, because it's not Summer Walker does not know all this is happening until she sees this headline. But Summer Walker's management and all of them know that. But they're also dealing with a million other things, running a label, all of that. So expecting them to think, oh my God, we forgot to pay John Brown and have to make sure we push this stuff through and make sure that we might have done all we could do, but we have to remind A&R admin to get on their shit. You know what I mean? They might have already signed off on everything, you know? So it's like, I don't want to say that it's not a fixable issue because it is, and it is a very big issue, but I also want to be like, there's a lot of moving parts. It's just such a process to get paid, and I think that if the process was simpler, that's how we get to a solution, you know? I don't know how you make that process simpler all the way. It's just an unfortunate situation. You pray for everyone involved because there's so much other issues that go into like being a producer or a songwriter in the background of this, you know? We obviously like saw like one of them, I'm blanking on her name, but the person that we know that was involved in this, like she's dealing with like being LGBTQ and a woman in this space. And that's already other things that are on top of it. You know what I mean? Dealing with even just getting the credit that you deserve, being in these rooms and being allowed to perform to the best of your ability. So prayers up to everyone. I hope things get better for you guys. Where do we want to go after this? We want to stay in Atlanta and go Yachty?
We can stay in Atlanta.
We can stay in Atlanta for a little bit. Yachty, well, no, I guess we're doing new music though. Let's go into new music, and I want to talk about Bruno, actually, just because Bruno's a bigger release.
Okay.
Bruno Mars dropped The Romantic, and I am not... Like, when I hear Bruno Mars, I know that's a superstar, right? But I don't always run to it the same as, like, my favorite artist ever, you know?
Yeah.
But we put respect on his name, and we sat down and we heard the album, and it absolutely blew me away.
Yeah, me too.
I really, really love what he did with this project. I feel like this is the first Bruno project that top to bottom feels, it didn't feel like gimmicky all the way to me. You know, like I think Bruno Mars goes for hits and has the persona and does the outfits and you kind of know what to expect with him. It felt a little bit more genuine on this project than I think I got on the Silk Sonic project. How were you? What did you get a chance to hear it yet or not?
I didn't. No, I actually was interested to hear like more of your take on it because you were encouraging me to listen to it, and honestly, I just didn't get the time to. And it wasn't. I'm not saying I don't like Bruno Mars. I wasn't like overly excited to like listen to a Bruno Mars project. I think pop music for me gets a little bit just like
same
formulaic.
I don't like pop music, and that's why I was so shocked to like this album. You know, like I think like. Him working with Anderson brought him into our world a lot more, I feel like.
For sure, yeah.
Because we're really big fans of him. I think you are too. Like, so like that made it make more sense. That kind of added some edge to this really clean cut pop figure. But it also made me realize that like while he's categorized as pop because how big he is, like that's not what I think his music is.
You're right. The music is a little bit more like divided into like subsections. It's overall like he gets put in the pop category because his records are so big, but like there are elements of like soul in Bruno Mars music, like you said, and R&B and like different things. So.
Yes. And I was interested to see if he was able to maintain that once he left Anderson, because I know what he does in terms of production, singing, vocals, all of that stuff. He's obviously worked with the James Fauntleroys of the world historically and all of that, but this was my favorite first listen of a Bruno Mars ever. Like, how did you feel about it?
Yeah, I mean, I loved it. I think it seemed like he was heavily inspired by maybe his Hispanic roots. We got corrected in our reaction video for not knowing Bruno's origin story, right? He's Puerto Rican and Filipino, and I think he really leaned into the Latin heritage aspect on this album. There's mariachi across the project. The horns in the arrangements are present and incredible. It feels like there's some salsa influence. I heard a lot of Santana influence, which was kind of like Latin rock from the 60s and 70s, you know? So to me, that's a totally new direction for him.
Yeah.
So I think he melded like that inspiration and that influence with kind of what he's been doing, which is kind of like the Vegas chic 70s high roller vibe and music. You know what I mean? And I think he married them really well together. I think this was probably the most cohesive Bruno album I've ever heard. Yeah. And I think that's a strength and a weakness. Because I've talked to a lot of people that are historically big Bruno fans that off first listen were like, it kind of all sounded the same. And I'm not mad at that criticism, but I do think that the more you listen to these songs individually, the more you will grab onto specific moments that are for you. And I think retroactively going back to this album, we're all going to appreciate how concise of a story it was. Because it was a tight 30-minute concept album about a relationship from top to bottom.
Yeah, and I don't feel like it sounded the same production-wise. I mean, again, shout out to everyone who watched the reaction. I heard that I was loud and wrong a lot. I'm going to continue to be loud and wrong every time I get a mic put in front of me. Just want to let you guys know that. But I think that what he did on this was understand the era that he was in and touch like different parts of it, you know? Like, I think that when you get a slower track versus an up-tempo track, you can hear the clear differences in production in terms of like the lyrics on all of these songs. Like, I didn't feel like, I got a general vibe, obviously, but I didn't feel samey with it. And I feel like if it was 18 tracks, I'd get that sense a bit more, but I don't know. What really pissed me off, honestly, was hearing Joe Budden talk about this. These niggas called it AI Bruno. And they said really? It was super boring. Like, they were just like, he was phoning it in. And I'm just like, I think they have a different perspective on Bruno because they were really outside when he was popping off and coming up. And they said that he was this super original new artist that was exciting everyone. And like, they want him to get back to that. And while I feel that sentiment because this music is trying to be a bit more derivative and pulling from a different era, this nigga is also 40. So it's like he is now an older, more adult person and probably just wants to make the music that he likes. Yeah. The same way that when he was younger, he was making the music that he wanted to hear. This dude who was, and then they were also talking about how like Bruno, like they didn't feel like it was genuine. They don't feel like he's went through heartbreak. We were schooled on that. People in the comments were telling us that this was about a relationship that he was actually in. Yeah. And he really went through
like
a
long-term relationship. Like 10 years is what they this is all based on YouTube comments.
Yeah.
So I could be wrong here because also I think Bruno is very private. Yeah. So I don't think this information is very well known and accessible unless you're like a big Bruno Mars fan.
But I'm just kind of like, these niggas need to take the bass out their voice when they talking about this nigga because it's like, yo, you don't know. And it's like to downgrade this art that could have been so phoned in and could have been so fake, but felt genuine and felt like the people involved in it and the musicality of it was so like, I don't want to say like timeless because we don't know what it's going to do, but it is trying to be at least that, you know? It's trying to be something that's for people of all ages.
Timeless. This music's timeless. You can say that.
Like, I don't feel like this is the type of project that I want to hate on, you know?
Yeah.
I want to uplift this type of music because it was really refreshing in this time and space.
Yeah. You want to know a small criticism that I think actually would have changed a lot of people's perception of this album? Get a better cover. I hate to say it, but I think that the cover art actually impacts people heavily.
What's that cover look like?
I'll pull it up for you. I think honestly, I thought it was a pretty weak cover. And when I saw it come out, I was like, okay, this is not only kind of similar to the Silk Sonic cover, but you could make if you see this, I'm like, okay, this feels maybe low effort, which is kind of maybe what they were saying.
Minimalistic.
I'm fine with it.
It's just kind of lame. It's like nothing.
I do feel like,
if there's a reference, maybe it's cool, but it does feel like low effort.
Yeah.
When I first like that's
is those are the first words. Effort?
It's a little better. I don't think he's historically had great cover art.
Well, that's fair. Let's scroll through.
I think that's probably his best cover.
I disagree.
Which one do you
I
like?
feel like that's only a classic because that album is a classic.
This is
With the monkey? Yeah, that was not bad. But I mean, I
It's a
think...
gorilla, bro.
yeah. I was about to say
Oh,
Come
my
on,
fault. My fault.
chimpanzee.
You look at him trying to swerve out of this.
And now, see, this is the same thing that I said about Bruno when the single came out, which is I don't think the creative direction was fresh enough for people. And I think I loved the video. I loved the video and I loved the visualizers, even though it was a lot of chest. But like I did really like the creative direction on the album visuals. And I would have liked to see that seep into not only the cover, but also the live stream interview that he did. I just think you need to change it up a little bit for people because I do think that is impacting the way they're feeling about this music.
I think I also just kind of don't. I don't think Bruno has anything left to prove. I think he's at that stage of artist too, where it's like you almost don't need to. I don't want to say you don't need to try. Well, you need to try musically, but like when it comes to the promos and all that shit, all the other shit, like niggas know who you are, bro.
But this isn't promo. I'm talking about the way the album is packaged.
But if he likes it, he likes it. You know what I mean? Like as long as the music's great, all the other shit going on around it, I don't really care that much. That's just my perspective on an artist at his stage. I don't want to nitpick that stuff because it's like, why? He wanted to do what he wanted to do. Like,
I mean, I think you're definitely in like a minority here, though.
I think that's fine, bro.
Like I think cover art is so important.
I don't think that's a bad cover though. If that was an egregious cover, I've seen the Drake pregnant women cover.
I think that's better. I'll take CLB cover over that cover.
See, that's whack. You're overly hating. I think niggas are looking for something to criticize. That's not, if I'm gonna criticize it, I'm gonna criticize the fucking song where he does the fucking Disney Channel shit. What's that? That's my only critiques. I don't like Cha Cha Cha, the second track, and I don't like Something Serious. Those are the only two criticisms I have of this album. Everything else that this nigga did, I'm on board with. I fuck with it. And it actually inspired me to learn more about himself and who he is as a person.
No, and
I've never done that before with Bruno.
I'm not trying to hate. I'm trying to maybe point to why the music didn't resonate with people I would have expected it to resonate with. Because I also think the music was great. And I also think that this could be like one of his better artistic bodies of work. Like, I don't think this has the hits that a 24K Magic had, to be honest. Like, I don't think it's going to do the same numbers that his last two records did. But I think conceptually it's so tight and concise. And sonically it's pulling from so many really authentic places that this could be like one of his better works ever. And so that's why I just wish it was, maybe, yeah. Go ahead.
I know what the solution was.
What?
If I'm Bruno, everything was good about this except I make the first single Risk It All with that video. And I think that contextualizes I think everyone looks at everything differently. I think he still does the Grammy performance, but make it Risk It All. And I think like that almost just fits more into the time and space that it was actually living into.
Agreed. That was a great
You know what
idea.
I mean? I feel like the Grammys was very like Latin and all of that. Like this song is more like, you have the Spanish guitars. Like, I think that would have fit into the whole landscape of everything and would have set the vibe more. And then if we get I Just Might on the album, we're just like, oh, this is another banger. And if he drops a video to that the day of, everyone's just like, oh, the rest of the music is great and this is a vibe that we could dance to. Let's go.
And see, these are the small strategy tweaks that totally change the way people perceive the album.
Yes.
Because, I Just Might, in hindsight, is a great song. I think we both agreed that, like, oh my God, this is actually a fire Bruno Mars song. Mm-hmm. I think the narrative around it when it came out was same video, same sound.
Exactly.
Bruno's not evolving.
Give the people something new to start off the
lead
rollout.
with Risk It All. Because the cover looks like Silk Sonic. Whether you like it or not, it's the exact same. It's a fucking illustration in the middle on a solid background. So make the cover something from that video shoot. Do something really cool with the Spanish church and like that, the wedding scene and the mariachi. Like, okay, but it could have been so much more creative.
I get like the to me, I like the cover and I feel like it fits the vibe because I get like the kind of like it feels like Spanish, like Spain, like I'm thinking like even like Puss in Boots type shit. Like I don't know, like it does feel like still inspired.
That cover feels like Puss in Boots to you?
No, I'm saying that I don't know how else to describe it, bro. Like that, like because what is that? You know what I mean? Where is he from? Like what is that based around? You know what part of the world?
Puerto Rico?
No. It just feels Spanish. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking, who's
Spain.
Yeah, it feels like it's like that type of like out of that energy. That's what I get from it. And I think if the single would have contextualized it more, I would have been in that headspace rather than being in the Silk Sonic headspace.
It's so funny. I never even thought about Puss in Boots probably being like Spanish.
You know what I mean?
Like
I
a
don't know
Spanish
why
cat.
that's the example that I thought of. But
I gotta rewatch Shrek now.
He has the accent because it's who's the actor
It's funny. I've never thought about that.
This screams Spanish to you?
with the red roses.
This screams Puss in
I think
Boots?
I'm also looking at something different than you, bro.
That's the cover.
This with the red, but I'm looking at it like this. So
So you're watching the Apple.
Are you saying that Bruno Mars looks like Puss in Boots?
a little bit.
Here's what I'm saying.
I'm not gonna lie, Bruno Mars reminds me of Puss in Boots when he's in his Spanish vibe. I think that's why I said it.
That's a very I like
He's
that.
like
comp.
short and animated.
Whoa! That's why I was thinking of it. You know, if he would have started like that, that would have made sense. Yeah, I'll stand
You got
with that.
we got a crazy hate comment for talking about his height.
I know.
Did you read that one?
Yes, niggas are stupid. They don't understand I'm
wait.
making a joke. No niggas 5'2". I called Bruno Mars 5'2" in the reaction.
Can I read this one and let you respond to this person?
There was 7 people that corrected me on his height at least, bro.
Hold on.
He
Because
got real
I
fans.
actually want to pull this up. At Old Biddy said, I'm a black woman. Y'all saying that you have something against short people, which by the way is just plain stupid, is like your friend saying he has something against black people. It makes you sound ignorant, and I know you aren't. Bruno is a Hawaiian American whose mother is Filipino and whose father is Puerto Rican. The slave trade was persuasive, and no doubt Bruno gets his brown skin from his African roots. He is an old soul. The weekend doesn't come close.
Can I just say she threw a lot of terms out there? There's a lot of terms that I don't know if they connect all the way.
Because I don't know
Shout
how
out
we
to
got
her,
from the
but-
short to the race thing.
yeah, there's a
don't-
lot going on there. I don't like that comment.
You want me to respond? to
Go
her?
ahead.
Yeah.
If you were taller, you wouldn't make that comment.
Oh, shot. Bow, bow, bow.
I think short people are angry. I mean, that just makes sense. I feel like if you're short, you have like. I just receive short people anger differently. Like it's like you know when like a little kid is mad and you can like they're trying to like run at you and like you can like just kind of like hold their head and it's just like so angry.
Yeah.
That's like how I kind of see short people.
So you don't think it's her love for Bruno Mars? It's that she might be short as well, and she's defending herself essentially.
She heard me say Bruno Mars like 5'2", he's the little person, and she's like, wait, I'm 5'2". And I'm not a little person. Fuck you.
I mean, the last thing I'll say in terms of the cover is
Fuck the cover, bro.
if you have a budget, I don't want to see a graphic.
All right, bro.
Do
Cover
a photo
ass,
shoot.
Make a better
well, no,
cover.
because this is
I
what
don't give
Bruno
a
has
fuck,
been.
bro.
We yeah. Where's the graphic?
Just a picture. That's a blurred picture. That's a blurred picture. That's just her face.
All
That's an
these-
X.
all
That's
classics.
a fucking X, bro. I don't
All
give
of
a
the-
fuck.
Every cover I have displayed here is a beautiful piece of
If
art.
the album is great, the cover's great. I
You know,
really
but
believe that.
I don't, because you know what? I'm not excited to buy the Bruno vinyl because
Right.
I'm performative, and part of the reason I buy vinyl is to put them on my wall.
Okay, so
And
I don't
I
think
don't
Bruno,
want
that's what I'm saying. Bruno wasn't marketing to the performative people. This is for the real music lovers, bro. You just answered your own question. Now I'm moving on to Lil Yachty.
He should have done it like a pencil sketch instead.
Literally, bro.
In the age of AI, nobody wants to see a graphic. Do a photo shoot, spend the money, do something cool.
The only AI I care about is Allen Iverson, bro. All right,
Ooh.
Lil Yachty and the Concrete Boys dropped their second album. What's it called?
It's Us, Volume 2.
It's Us Volume 2.
Did you really not know?
I really didn't know. I blanked for a second. I was like, is it called Concrete Family? Is it called Concrete Boys Volume 2? I forgot. But Lil Yachty, Camo, DC2 Trill, Draft Day, their new rapper Honest, and their DJ Rio. This is the new rap group of the times. This is the only rap group right now that's more than like 2 people. Oh, what more?
Concrete Boys versus what more?
You know what I mean?
Give us the verses.
This was an interesting project for me because when the first It's Us was coming out and the lead up to it was happening, I was super, super excited. It felt new. It felt refreshing. I was a fan of, I knew about a lot of the members individually, but seeing them all come together, I was like, this makes sense. And I'm glad Lil Yachty is kind of, I don't know. I feel like it was nice to have him be the face of something and like really not only get to exercise his artistry, but also his creative vision. You know, I know that there's jokes that this nigga kind of dresses them and makes them all dress the same, but like it kind of is fly. You know what I mean?
No, I fuck with it.
I like it because it's on some boy band shit. You know what I mean? Like that's what groups are supposed to do. And we know the drama that happened with Caribou after the release of the project. I think that it still was an overall positive drop in the bucket for their careers, but everyone was kind of asking now that this person who seemed like she was going to be the face of this got removed, how are you going to respond? What's next? And I think that this project was released in a timely manner. I think that they didn't like let the buzz like die down too much. I think they came back with a good offering. I like this project. I listened to it 2 or 3 times. I don't know if there's as many high highs as the first one to me, but there is a lot of solid songs that I'm going to continue to go back to.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I've landed right now. Where are you guys at with it?
I think I'm still getting into it. I will say that there were some criticisms I had. I don't know if I voiced them here. I won't even say criticisms. I think I've thought for a little while that Draft Day, to me, was the one person that I really felt was exhibiting like real rap skill. Like I think the others, like DC2 Trill, Camo, and all them, like I thought they were good, but I was like every single time I hear Draft Day on a track with them, he smokes them. And I do feel like Camo,
that's
and
crazy.
I feel like DC2 Trill stepped up to the plate on this one. And I think Honest is cool, but I still need to hear more from him. I'm not sure if he really did the thing.
Honest is in the G League. Like right now.
Really?
Like actively is a player in the NBA G League.
I thought you meant he's like rap G League.
No,
That's
like
crazy.
a real life basketball player.
Oh, cool.
This nigga really hoops. The thing you're saying about Draft, like shout out Draft. That nigga cold. Like I fuck with Draft. He's probably my favorite. But to say DC ain't challenged him or beat him on some songs.
Yeah, DC's my favorite.
What about Camo?
Camo, I think, was the youngest one, and I don't think he's washed them yet. But what I will say that I liked is I watched the Bootleg Kev interview with all of them, and they asked who gets competitive. And Yachty was like, nah, we don't really get competitive. And like, they didn't even have a mic in front of Camo. Camo said, what? I'm trying to smoke all y'all niggas on everyone. And like, you hear Draft Day and DC kind of double down. Like, nah, like we all get a song and like, we feel like we got their own, like we all can like kill this, but you know, we never really looking at each other. And it keeps going over to Camo. And Camo's like, I'm trying to kill niggas, bro. All this shit. I fuck with that energy and I hear it when he raps.
Camo had some really good verses.
Yeah.
And he's been the one that I've been the most like question mark about because like I haven't really heard something that's really moved me by him.
Yeah.
But no, he was the biggest surprise on the album for me. I thought he had a really good performance.
I fucked with it. And DC did a great job. I think that he's the one that the public has actually taken to the most. I think that the combination of him being really funny and doing the streaming stuff and like being active in that lane has really propelled him because I think he's kind of treated streaming in a similar way to Nino Paid has treated streaming. Also, prayers up to Nino Paid. I hope everything is okay with you. You put some really troubling shit on your Instagram story this weekend. I hope everything is okay with you, bro. Seriously praying for you. But DC has really been active in that community as well as obviously putting out good music. I think he might be the star of this group.
I mean, that's my favorite member.
I think he might be the star of this group, but Draft Day has the look of a star. Like, and I think moves like a star the most. And I think the way that he propels is gonna be solo work.
Well, I'm actually willing to like shift my opinion and perspective to what you're saying because I think that's more what I meant is that when I hear Draft Day on a song, I'm like, I think this could be like a very popular commercial artist.
Yeah.
When I hear DC2 Trill, I'm like, I like this music for sure. I think his tape was amazing.
Yeah.
But I think it exists in a pocket and I don't know if it can get that much bigger, to be honest.
I agree.
I'm willing to be wrong though.
I fuck with him because
it's
it's like that pimp sound, like Tony Snow music.
It's like Dirty South inspired.
Right, yeah. And a super player. Like he is so player.
They could all rap, and I think that was the appeal of the group to me. It's like this is kind of similar to what we came up on. And I thought that more old heads would like the music. Yeah. And it's funny because Yachty it seems like Yachty's been at constant war with the older generation since he came up in this shit.
Yeah.
From Joe Budden tweaking on him at Everyday Struggle to now on the Bootleg Kev podcast. I don't know what the lead up question to this was, but basically Yachty gets to talking about when people were first getting on his head top about old school music in the 90s being so much more thoughtful and better than his generation. And he's basically saying that this was before I had done my research. So I was kind of just like shutting up and it was just everything coming my way. But now that I've done my research, if I would have known better, I would have been able to call out some of the bullshit y'all was doing back in the 90s. And then he goes into the Sugar Hill Gang, the first rap song ever with the hip, and it's basically, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? Niggas ain't talking about nothing. And I don't know all the way how to feel about this because I think there's a lot of truth to what he's saying. Niggas have been putting out bullshit forever. There have been bad artists all the time, and a lot of this old school rap shit is ABC 1, 2, 3. Fuck out of here. Now, do I think that all 90s shit is bad or all old school music is bad and there's no place for it. Absolutely
Well,
not.
and let's also not make it sound like we think Sugar Hill Gang is 90s.
Yeah.
That was 1979.
But the era, yeah.
That was like not
that's
even close
literally
to
the
90s.
first rap song like ever. That is regarded as the first rap song ever. But he calls out that song, and I think that was a mistake because I actually think that like there was no frame of reference for those people. They literally didn't know how to rap better. They were trying things for the first time. So I don't think those are the ones that he was going at. And when I say 90s because when Yachty said that's the era that he mentioned, I think he just used the wrong example.
Yeah, I think Yachty's really funny. I think he gets very defensive about certain topics and holds grudges and then continues to speak about them. And he also speaks in hyperbole. Like you said, naming that song doesn't really make sense for what he's really trying to say, which is, hey guys, when I was coming up, I was very much disrespected, but I was a young nigga in this, getting money, getting to the bag, really trying to make music that I liked, and I was torn down. Did that make me a better person and make me do the history lesson and make me make better music? Of course, but you guys were wrong for that. I feel like if he just said that and didn't try and name like specific examples, he would have been fine. No?
But it's also like, fuck these niggas. Like, yo, I'm getting more money than you. I'm relevant than y'all niggas. Like, y'all niggas was pressing me like I was saying this outlandish shit and y'all niggas were on bullshit. I think Yachty was a little bit like mad about it. And I think that as a 20-something-year-old with millions of dollars and you like have emotion, like you're allowed to have a bit of that. Like, I want to push back at the nigga was trying to go at me. I think like when people come at you, you're allowed to respond, you know? And I think his entire career, he's kind of felt that hostility from the older generation.
Yeah.
So I think that that's not just something that he's doing out of the blue.
No, for sure. Like he's speaking, like he holds grudges. He's like speaking to something that has been on his mind for a while. And also he's in a space where he makes a lot of music and a lot of different types of music. And realistically, Yachty's looking to find another commercial success with a project. Yachty, I feel like when it comes to commercial success and critical acclaim, has not received what he wants in terms of like his flowers. Let's Start Here. I think Let's Start Here was probably the closest he's ever been. But I don't think he has a project that is like, yo, this is widely accepted, universally, critically acclaimed. Like
he doesn't.
He really did the thing. So I think he's still looking for that. And I think, is The Recipe an album?
No, I'm saying The Recipe was the only time that I feel like he's been stamped by the culture.
What is The Recipe?
The J. Cole song. I feel like getting the J. Cole feature on that was the only time Yachty got a little bit of his flowers from the people who it seems like he kind of wants something from.
But
the older generation.
He's still looking for that project.
Yes,
okay,
yes, 100%.
Got you.
I'm just, that was just the one. That
No, fair enough. Yeah. So I think that's always in the back of his head too. The dude is rich, bro. I actually spoke about this on the stream. Yachty, for the longest, ever since he got in the game, he's been making money because he had endorsement deals, he had commercials, he had all this stuff. He's a master at leveraging his attention and talent and music in order to get the bag. And I think that's why Concrete Boys actually exists. I think QC is like, yo, this dude is actually really good at making money and really good at finding talent, putting people on. Let's give him a chance. You
and
know
Yachty
what I mean?
made them money through the Yachty has records. One Night and Broccoli, it's just not, it's kid shit. It's blowing up from, it's why Tyler doesn't like performing his old shit, you know? I think that when you blow up off some shit you did at 16, 17, 18, 19, you know, like, you look back as an adult and it's like, yo, I've evolved so much as an artist, but this is what y'all know me for. This is what is my biggest commercial success. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, like I'm better than this now.
So I would like to add to that. I think that it's the same thing that Jack Harlow feels when he's like, man, I keep putting out this real rap. You're not really hearing me. Then does a pop record and it goes number one. And he's like, man, now I got to put out Monica. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like there are a lot of artists, and rightfully so, like there's a lot of artists that feel this way, that want to get, like, they want to be recognized by the hip hop community as one of the greats. And I think Yachty has the potential for that because of all the people he's written for, all the stuff he's done, all the people he's kind of put on in the underground, the same way that Drake kind of does it in the mainstream. I can't be 100% certain he'll get that project, but I think that's kind of where his head is at.
But you also can't make this statement and then go do a hot whatever freestyle, whatever station he was on.
Yikes.
And then read off the phone.
Oh yeah, that was pretty wild. Yeah.
While wearing a mask.
Like he's an NBA player.
He was on some like fuck it shit though, right? Like that's what the caption said. It was like, yo, fuck it, off the phone.
Not the time.
Yeah.
Not the time after you just came at rap.
And it's like nobody pretends that like radio freestyles are actually like made up on the spot. Like we're aware that they're all written, but like memorize your verse. Show a little bit of like, just memorize your verse.
It looks ill prepared.
Because everyone else
looked
did.
wild.
All the other niggas did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just wasn't the greatest performance. And like, I'm in the camp that thinks Yachty can rap. I enjoy when Yachty raps. I think he does the tone, obviously, and like he has his bag that he gets into when he tries to do that. But I like it, especially when he's on some Detroit shit. Like, I'm a fan of that. I just don't think that was his best performance. And not every freestyle is going to be a very good verse. But yeah, that was,
I can't lie. I was getting a little bored on the tape too, honestly, with his rapping. Like, it wasn't really doing it all the way for me. I got to be totally honest. I miss Caribou. I miss Caribou a lot. Regardless of if you think she's the most talented rapper or whatever, she added a level of excitement to this group that was greatly missed on this project.
I mean, do you want to get into we can get into the nuts and bolts of it. It's like Caribou, even if she wasn't the best rapper on a song, if you wanted to feature her on a song, you had to do more creative things around it to like cater to her. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Whereas these guys, when they're all rapping together, they can go over the same beats. They all like are sharing the same kind of beat type right now.
Yeah.
Whereas to get her off, like you maybe had to do something a little different, and that added that extra.
Well, because she's got that. Because she's got the voice and like, I don't know, sometimes like almost a lack of ability like makes lines stick out more. And I don't want to say a lack of ability because that's selling it short, but like her delivery, it's not super smooth all the time. Yeah. But I think that sometimes is also like kind of what Keem had going from at the beginning, where it almost makes like punchlines hit harder and it allows her to do songs like the Skywater song. You know what I mean? If she didn't have that voice and that effect, she wouldn't be able to cross over to a lot of the records that she crossed over, the BB Tricks record. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like she can do really cool out of the pocket stuff, and I think that was missing on this project.
I think these the last thing that I'll say about, because I really do have like, I think they could be a great group, and I think that these group of rappers, Yachty, Camo, Draft, and DC specifically, you know, Mudman, I have to listen, or Honest, whatever this nigga's name is, I'll have to listen more of his music. But I think that those four specifically have the unique ability to go over a multitude of different beats. Like, I think they really are versatile rappers. And I think that the beat selection on this project was a little boring to me. And I think that simple tweak would have done wonders for them. And I think that they, like Yachty said in the Apple Music interview, like they do give off the vibe that they live in the studio and are making music all the time and just have so much stuff going on. I feel like it feels like they were almost in like a loop. And I feel like you need to kind of get out and live life and just get some weird. I would have liked to hear more weird sounds on this.
Yeah,
I love the sample on the Veeze song, the Shorty Swing My Way sample. I wish they would have done the flip a little bit differently, but like those were the moments that I was more excited for on this project. But it was decent, you know, it was a decent project. But yeah, I like the first volume more, but still some good moments.
Right. I mean, you want to talk about Veeze while we're here?
Yeah. This is annoying. And the first time that I feel like this leak culture shit has really, really got to me, just because it's so stupid what happened. Veeze obviously dropped Ganger a couple years ago, and that was huge project for his career, blew him up, have him on the mainstream, and I think that he's really taken his time with his next project and has been very vocal about trying to give people the best follow-up he possibly can, and has just been working at it tirelessly, and is a really highly anticipated follow-up album. And recently, I want to say hundreds of his songs got leaked, and it's known that the reason is because he was keeping the songs with him and Cardi tucked. And if you're familiar with leak culture, you know Cardi has probably some of the biggest leakers in the game. Mm-hmm. If you leak these songs, fuck you. If you care about Cardi so much that you got to go fuck up other niggas shit, yo, get a life. What do these niggas like? What type of spell are these niggas under, bro?
Literally.
Like, it's not that Cardi don't know you. Why is it so deep for you to have to go get
They're
these
literally
niggas?
under a spell. That's hilarious.
Yo, something's got to be on these niggas, because it's like, why?
Yeah,
what do you gain?
It's just tough, especially in this culture, right? Like, we talk a lot about how we like it. We like to see when artists are taking back like their D2C and figuring out ways to make money off their music. And I think the Cardi thing in itself is a whole other thing. I do feel like there's some accountability in terms of like him as a person, in terms of building up a toxic fan base. Not that he deserves this. I'm just saying there is like a thing going on there. But I do feel bad when it comes to Veeze, because it's like, bro, again, like you said, clearly has been working and taking his time to make this project. And now it's all out there for the public. He probably got to scrap it and do something completely new. And if you're really a Veeze fan, bro, you wouldn't listen to this. You're going to support him when he does drop that project and make sure that you run it up for him. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we're trying to build.
Dog, that's what I'm saying when I see niggas like, and it's a double-edged sword because one, let's live in reality here. Niggas are gonna listen to the leaks. You know what I mean? So being one of them niggas in the comment section like, hey Veeze, man, we ain't even gonna listen to this shit, bro. Just drop it, nigga. Like, bro, no. I feel bad for that nigga. I know that today's probably really fucking ass. Like, you probably gotta just sit and like really think about how you want to approach this. This has happened before to some people. The best case scenario was Wayne with Carter 3. Where it got leaked and he remade the whole album and it was fucking better.
Yeah.
That was a different time. This is like, from what I've seen and what I've heard, it's like, yo, if this nigga got other stuff, this is like a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of songs, bro. It's going to be tough for him to find stuff that he could pull from, and apparently some of it sounds really fucking good.
I know, and
some of it sounds really good apparently.
Because we really needed the album this year. Because to bring it into the Yachty conversation, I feel like Veeze with his first shit got what Yachty's still going for, which is a whole body of work that is celebrated. You know what I'm saying? So I think Veeze is actually primed to take on and be like the superstar of the next generation.
I want to say that that's literally the Spotify thing.
Yeah.
I think he's the type of person that they should have highlighted on that fucking bum ass campaign that they did.
Let's talk about it. So Spotify dropped a campaign, a billboard campaign that basically said, we need new rap superstars.
Did they do anything else, or did they just drop the billboards? Is there a playlist? Was there any push on platform, or did they literally just put up billboards that said hip hop needs new leaders, and they did the ones with the fucking people in the city?
It was just billboards.
Yeah.
And so they put up the billboard that said hip hop needs new leaders, and the list that came out subsequently after felt out of touch. So I feel like we could sit here and make a better list.
So, well, I want to can I before we do that, because I think we can. I want to provide a little bit of context too, because I think this was Josh P's worked on this. He's the head of hip hop of urban relations at Spotify, urban artists.
I mean, Carl Cherry played a big role in this.
Yeah, this guy is tapped in. Carl Cherry is tapped in. I thought to the new generation, like from the accounts and the things that I see them post and what they talk about. Like Josh had a podcast and like he is very active on social media. Like he's with the new shit. Like he knows that shit. He follows those people. So it's like, I want to know the level of politics that played into this, on top of who made the final decision to put these people up there. You know? Because I do think there was more going on in the background than we as the general public want to give credit for.
Yeah, I also want to know what this campaign was supposed to be driving towards. Is it supposed to be I know the campaign is actually a Rap Caviar campaign. It's not a Spotify campaign. It's like Rap Caviar. So I guess it's playlist promo, because like you can find all these artists on Rap Caviar. But I don't know. It just felt a little random for Spotify to come out and do this.
Well, I thought it was interesting following what Gabe P did with the On the Radar freestyle.
Yeah.
Because this feels like the exact statement that he was trying to make and did make, but worse.
Yeah.
And while I want to highlight that a little bit too, because I think that was actually one of the most exciting things I've seen in the rap space, because while I don't necessarily agree that everyone that he put in it is the actual like next generation of rap, you know, because we don't know who's going to be a star or whatever, those were all real up and coming artists that have put in the work, have earned this spot and killed this shit. And like, it felt refreshing to see. That was really, really exciting for me and invigorated me about the culture, even if I didn't like love every, like, you know what I mean? I don't like personally love every artist on there. Like I like a lot of them, you know, but like that was fun. That felt better than what this was. This was very cookie cutter. This felt very expected. And I think Spotify can do better.
Yeah, well then let's get into it. So
I have a question. Are you about to get into this, like what the list was actually?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Go ahead.
So the 8 artists that they highlighted as the next leaders of hip hop are Glorilla, Doechii, Central C, Big X the Plug, Baby Keem, Sexy Red, Rod Wave, and Lil Tecca. Not a terrible list, but there are some pretty glaring omissions to me. And so I think we put together a better list of 8?
Yes, but I do want to say one thing, and I'm sorry to keep interrupting because I know that this is important and we should do this because it'll be fun. But yeah, I don't think that list is that bad, to be honest.
It's not terrible.
And I think I think the Spotify campaign did exactly what Spotify wanted it to do, which is cause conversation. I would assume that those artists are on that list because they stream well on Spotify, and those artists and their teams may have good relationships with Spotify. That to me is the only reason that Spotify is putting out that list. The tagline is marketing. The tagline is somebody or a group of people in that room that were like, hey, how can we get people talking about this?
Yeah.
Let's put that on. Yeah. So whether it was out of like trying to get people stirred up or we just need a tagline and this is the conversation on Twitter right now, I feel like the conversation that I see online about it is interesting because I'm like, you guys basically let Spotify rage bait you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we need to turn the volume down on this. And I think we need to turn the volume up, like you said, on the gay peace stuff, on other people that are actually doing things to actively uplift our culture, rather than curators that are sitting in boardrooms that like really have nothing, like they don't have anything to gain from this or lose. They're just, again, they have the relationships that make this a thing.
It struck a real nerve. Cause I think the young niggas in hip hop, if I'm Red Veil, Overcast, any of these other niggas that have been putting out music constantly, grinding, working, and all I see when I go on Twitter is hip hop is dying. We have no one to look up to in a new generation. Like, it's just all this hate. And it's like, damn, niggas just aren't listening to us. All we need is a platform. A lot of these niggas are in their minds, and I agree with it to an extent for a lot of these artists. A lot of these artists, all they need is a platform. And this was a chance to really make a difference. And Spotify is the biggest streamer in the world. It is going to make money off any of these artists having success. It could be the smallest artist right now, the biggest artist right now. Spotify is going to get those dollars regardless. They're going to get their same take or whatever. Why not uplift new people that are going to be additive to this? Why would Spotify not benefit from more new acts being successful?
I don't think you're following the money. Like, think about what this campaign was promoting.
Yeah,
Rap Caviar. Putting an artist that people don't know on this list does not drive people to Rap Caviar.
Yeah, there's going to be significant. Let's say I'm not going to use them as examples because I really like their music. But let's say an artist that is more like underground or backpack or doesn't stream as much as like a Lil Tecca, Sexy Red, whatever, is at the top of a playlist. They're going to drop off because people are going to listen to that playlist and be like, I don't know this. I don't like this. Like, I think that playlist is targeted toward a consumer. And I think that campaign was probably targeted toward the same consumer.
I agree with you. But I think that one, you could do a mix. Mm-hmm. Like, I think Big X the Plug is young, as far as I know. I don't think he's like an older act. Like, he's relatively new. Like, I wouldn't say that he's super deep in his career, and I think he's going to have a long career. I'm totally fine with him being mentioned on there. But there's just certain artists that I feel like weren't that. You know what I mean? That weren't accomplishing the streaming goal because like, I hate to call people out by name. Like, that feels weird. But like, you know, like Lil Tecca's dope. Like, I like Lil Tecca, but like, is he really streaming that much crazier than someone who you could like pull from that other generation? Like, put Cash Cobain, because I think a big thing with these two weren't all the billboards in people's hometowns.
Yeah.
It's like New York. Like, you could
so this is a good conversation because Lil Tecca, damn, why am I blanking out on the name of the song, bro? One of Lil Tecca's first songs just went diamond. Like
Ransom?
I think it was
or
Ransom.
Is that Ben Diamond?
No, I think it was Ransom.
And Dark Thoughts had a moment last year.
And I would agree with you if I didn't see that right before and like think about, you know, again, would have to look into the numbers to really form like a well thought out opinion. But if that's true, I think Lil Tecca probably streams way more. I actually had a conversation about Tecca like the other day with somebody specifically. And I was like, Tecca's, and I actually went back to agree with the other person because I think it's bad. But I was calling Tecca a pop artist because I was like, Tecca makes pop leaning music, all this different type stuff. Like, all his biggest hits are pop, whatever. And they were like, no, Tecca's hip hop. I really circled back because I was like, it's bad to call Tecca hip hop or pop because we want to bring him back into space. So I was wrong there. But I also think what I meant by that is that he's a streaming giant for his bigger singles. So I do feel like he probably belongs on that list when it comes to Spotify, to be honest.
Well,
Spotify's not here to make a difference.
Let's not talk about what Spotify should have done or tried to like cosplay as Spotify execs. Let's make our own list.
This guy's funny.
What, you guys not want to?
No, we should. He said it's just funny. You said it 3 times.
This is a good
But yes,
conversation.
yes,
I think
yes,
it's just a good conversation about like, yeah.
Because we've had the conversation. Let's because instead of just saying, oh, let's uplift on the radar, let's uplift that. Let's uplift us. Let's make the list. We are the curators.
Can you say it one more time?
So yeah, let's make the list. Can we make the list? Let's make the list. Okay, so first we got to pick who we're gonna keep from these 8. Glorilla.
Yeah.
I think we keep Glorilla. Doechii.
Wait, actually, man, I do have one more question. What are we trying to achieve here? We're trying to achieve the next big rap superstar, or we're trying to achieve dope new artists that is breaking?
No, next hip hop's next leaders. The next Drakes, Kendricks, Cardi B's, biggest in the world, top of the game, S tier.
Yes, you keep Doechii.
Yeah. Central C.
No.
He's feeling a little one-dimensional to me right now.
I mean,
I might not put him there in my own personal list quite yet.
So the reason why you have to put Central C though is like international, I guess, and like who else would be the no? Because I'd put Dave. Yeah, so no Central C.
Next gen.
Yeah.
Next hip hop's next leaders, Dave.
They're the same age.
Are they really?
Yes.
It's wild, right?
The song is literally called Our 25th Birthday.
Dave is super young. Yeah, it is interesting.
That's wild. So you're putting Dave instead of Sench?
Yeah.
I don't know, but Sench just has like hits.
What was the last one?
We're making our own personal curated list for like us.
No, I'm not. I'm making like an actual list. What was the last big Central C song that didn't have Dave on it?
On the last record, he had 2 hits. GBP with 21
GBP
Savage.
was a hit. I didn't think that was a hit.
That was a hit. Jose, is that a hit?
I don't know.
That's
bro.
definitely not a hit.
I don't know if it's
That's
a
definitely
hit
not a hit, bro.
Hold on, because it charted. It charted.
Now it goes back to the hit record conversation. What is that?
That's so weak.
I
bro.
really like Central C. I am taking him off the list.
And
right
Rain
now.
Dance is charting right now, bro.
Right.
So he's more relevant right now than Central C.
Okay, we'll take Central off then. If you guys agree.
Do you agree?
I don't know. It's just this thing that Central C also feels like he has with Drake. To me, feels like a little bit of like if Drake were to actually ever pass the baton to anyone, it could go to Central C.
Is Drake hot right now?
No, but he's about to be, and Central will be on Iceman.
Why are Drake's young bulls all white now?
Bro, but that's what. No, I actually want to make a point. So, do you think Central C is a bigger artist than Dave right now?
A bigger artist? Yeah, I think he's a bigger artist.
Can we? And then, is there any way to confirm that? Can we look at Spotify?
I mean, we can do monthly.
Okay.
Sench has 25 mil monthly, and Dave has 29. Nice. Rain Dance is actually doing big numbers.
I know.
So shout out him.
That's incredible for someone that doesn't even release that consistently either.
And Central C isn't a bad artist, but like, I mean, I think Dave has released pretty consistently. No, he has a lot of music out. I feel like
what, like 3 albums?
4. Are you counting
Psychodrama? No, I'm not counting 4 song EP.
Psychodrama wasn't that 2018?
2016.
Damn, bro, that's crazy.
He has Psychodrama. He has the painted pink one, and then the new one. He has 3 albums.
Okay, yeah.
But I guess he does have a collab project with Central C that was what, 2022?
Yeah. I think he's been active.
Shit, he had an album before Psychodrama. What the fuck is this? Game Over? What is this cover? Yo, I've never seen this.
Dave.
Okay, I'm down. Let's put Dave instead of Sench. Mm-hmm. So we have Glow, Doechii, Dave, Big X the Plug.
Yeah.
Yes. It's the same. Yes. I'm not gonna go into it too much.
I agree. Baby Keem.
Yeah.
Yep. Sexy Red.
No.
I take Sexy off too.
Who do you replace her with though?
Huh?
Why and who would you replace her with?
I think she does the same thing as Glorilla, but I think Glorilla's way better at it. And I would bet on Glorilla's longevity over Sexy Red's. And it's not like there can only be one, but I do think that the type of music that's being made, I don't think, if I'm making my list of hip hop leaders, I don't think we need Sexy Red on it, personally.
I feel you. I think it just might be personal preference though, because I think Sexy Red has stayed pretty consistent in terms of releasing. And she does have like a little buzz going on.
It's
right
not
now.
Responding. I feel like I would put Lotto
with that
over.
song.
I would put Lotto over Sexy.
You
Red.
don't think that song is it even released? Do you know the TikTok song I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
There's a Sexy Red TikTok song going right now that's like, he want to hang with a bad bitch.
I only heard her do the Michael Jackson "Beat It" thing, and everyone was like,
yeah.
I think Lotto over over Sexy Red.
I would like to leave Sexy Red spot unoccupied because I have heavy hitters we need to put in at the end.
Okay,
and I also don't think Lotto belongs here.
I don't have a strong argument, so.
Because I think you also do want. Ooh, does Doja Cat count as hip hop? No, she's past.
She's beyond.
Yeah, okay. Beyond what?
I think she's already she's already like S tier. Like I think she's
not the future.
In terms of being a hip hop.
She's not a future.
Yeah.
She's the star. Yeah.
All right, so are we cool with taking Sexy off?
It's fine with me.
Rod Wave.
Leave.
For me, yes.
Leave. For
GOAT.
Sure.
Okay, we'll leave him. I mean, he is definitely GOAT. But do you think he's like a hip hop leader? Yeah. Like a leader of hip hop?
I think he's going to be around for a long time.
I do too, but that's not what I'm saying. Do you think he's a hip hop leader?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lane that he's at the top of that really exists in hip hop that serves like a whole community. Like he's definitely the leader of that.
Okay, so I would actually like to make a case to take Rod off, and to replace him with Youngboy.
I think you can include them both,
but we only have 8 spots, and we've kept majority of this list.
Okay, we still have Sexy spot unoccupied.
Okay, so
Youngboy occupy Sexys,
but there's more heavy hitters.
Okay, cool.
So we're leaving Rod on.
Yeah,
Lil Tecca.
Taking him off.
Let's take him off.
Yeah.
It's not a hip hop leader. He streams great. He has hits, but I don't really see his staying power.
Yeah. I'm not gonna make a case.
Okay, so we have 2 open spots. The most glaring omission to me is Yeet. The fact that Yeet is not on this list is insane to me.
There's an argument for Yeet, yeah.
To me, Yeet.
I know. You don't want to put him on, but I understand.
I would feel great about this list and how it represents where hip hop is going if you use the 2 open spots for Yeet and Youngboy.
What about Don Toliver?
No, I don't think Don Toliver. I wouldn't put him over Yeet or Youngboy.
But I mean, can we? That's why I'm like, can we pick? Don Toliver belongs on this list.
Don Toliver is a bigger artist than Yeet. He is.
I think Don and Yeet both need to be on here if we're talking about where hip hop's going.
Who are you taking off?
I could take off Dave for Don if we're talking about the next generation of hip hop leaders.
International though, I do think that matters. And I think you have to represent all of what hip hop is, you know what I mean? And I think I think you have to leave Dave for
You know
that
why
reason.
it's difficult? Because Dave isn't out there and is not necessarily trying to be what I would consider the definition of a hip hop leader. Like I feel like he obviously makes, let me finish. He obviously makes incredible music, hip hop music. But when we talk about like leaders, I think we think about people that put themselves out there and are constantly like working and politicking to be the top spot. And I think Dave is kind of on his J. Cole where he takes a step back sometimes and like doesn't try and occupy that spot. Let me know if I'm wrong here.
I feel like he represents what hip hop should be in that like he's with the community of people. Like I don't know everything like super personally, but everything that I've seen about Dave has been like overwhelmingly positive. Like this is a real person.
For sure.
Like people feel like they can actually like touch and see Dave and like he's like a GOAT that comes from like the bottom and represents that to all of these people that are like trying to do this now. Like it seems like Central C, none of the new age of this like hip hop shit going on in the UK could exist without Dave. That's why I feel like he's kind of like, you need that. Cause that also like the UK has never been bigger than it seems like it's about to be right now in terms of hip hop. And Dave set off all of that and is still super active and charting and only 26, 27 years old.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to have a long career, make shit that's going to transition into like a later stage too.
It would depend on what your definition of leadership is, to be honest.
Like, cause I feel you, he's not politicking to be like, I'm #1 rapper.
Yes, exactly.
He's not doing that, but I think he's doing something that is more hip hop than the superficialness of that.
And I like that take too.
Well, one thing I would like to make with this
it's
list.
More Kendrick than Drake.
So I feel like I like having representation from every like niche in hip hop on this list.
Yes.
So with that being said, we're still trying to find a spot for Don Toliver.
I'm not. You two are. I don't think Don Toliver has a spot on this list, and I love Don Toliver's music.
Really?
Yeah,
it's interesting. But I feel like you have like kept this opinion about Don Toliver. You're like, he's not there yet. He's not there yet.
I like Don Toliver more than Rod Wave. He's not bigger than Rod Wave.
But we're not saying who's bigger. We're saying who is hip hop's leaders.
There is a bigger sector of people that are fans of hip hop that feel represented by Rod Wave both young and old.
Yeah. I mean, so here's my argument to take Rod off. It's not that Rod is probably bigger than pretty much all of these artists we named. His touring is probably makes him more money. He has more fans. But to me, I feel like it's something adjacent to hip hop. But he's like a soul singer at the same time as like an artist. Like he do rap a little bit, but like it almost seems like a different thing. And so I would almost rather just have Youngboy represent that lane.
Youngboy is a rapper more than a singer.
Exactly.
Significantly.
No, but you didn't listen to what I said. I think that Youngboy and Rod are in the same world, but I think Youngboy is a little bit more hip hop. So I would almost rather let Youngboy represent that lane to hip hop. And I'm not trying to downplay Rod because, like I said, bigger artist than most of this list, and he's gonna continue. His staying power is crazy. His fan base is culty. I just don't know if I am including him as the next generation of hip hop.
Rod Wave represents and is the best representation of melodic hip hop and where it's going. So while in terms of subject matter, we're going to put Rod Wave and NBA Youngboy under the same umbrella of Pain music and have overlapping fan bases, I think Rod Wave is more similar in musical approach to a Don Toliver than he is to a Youngboy. So I think that when we're talking about that, that's what I'm talking about, how you make hip hop music. I think you can have a conversation about where hip hop is going and how melodic it is right now. And I think that's where it's going to continue to go as you see artists like Low Shimmy having success and all of that. That is Rod Wave. If you want to credit melodic rap music in 10, 15 years, you're going to look back and say Rod Wave was the biggest and the one who really broke it through on a main stage and was doing arenas off this shit. No one else has done that for melodic rap music, which is where this shit is going.
That's a good argument.
I want to make one more distinction is that I think we have to talk about the hip hop / rap genre. Because I think if this list was about best rappers, I actually would agree with you. You know how I feel about Rod Wave. I love Rod Wave, but to put him in like the rap category in terms of he is one of the best rappers pushing this shit forward is technically wrong to me because technically he makes more soulful music. However, I do think that that is an element of hip hop that I want to put him in as well. So I'm putting him on the hip hop category. If we were trying to make a list of top rappers, I would kind of agree with your point and see your point a little bit more.
Okay, we'll keep Rod because you guys made good points. I just still feel like we need Don on this list.
I agree.
Because Don represents something that we don't, I guess we kind of do a Yeet. But like Don is doing the numbers. He has the fans. And
but
he's
is he doing bigger numbers than anyone on the list?
Don Toliver is a bigger artist than Yeet.
Yeah.
And he streams more.
I'm okay with Don Toliver being on the list instead of Yeet.
No, Yeet needs to be on it. Because there's nobody representing the underground sound right now. And like, we're not just going to leave that out.
All right.
But I don't also think there's another candidate that's big enough and has enough like hip potential.
Toliver is Don Toliver underground adjacent?
He's adjacent, but I think you need representation from the actual sound.
I agree. So yeah, no Don Toliver.
Okay, so let's.
It just seems like such an obvious answer. There's no.
Okay. I mean, I'm gonna read our list one more time to make sure that none of these people can be swapped out for Don Toliver. Really think about it. We have Glorilla, Doechii, Dave, Big X the Plug, Baby Keem, Rod Wave, Youngboy, Yeet.
That feels like the most accurate representation of hip hop's next superstars to me.
I would also like to point out that our list is not that much different than the Spotify list.
No, it's not. It's not. Just a couple switch.
That's why. Do you understand why? That's why. Like the whole point of this argument and the whole reason I took issue with it was the approach and what they were trying to accomplish. Because I get you guys 100% philosophically. Like they are following the money. They're gonna do what streams most on their platform. That makes 100% sense. But like, those artists are going to stream regardless. Those artists have machines behind them already. Like your relationship with them is never going to change. So why not take this opportunity to look at the data, look at the artists who are making noise, bubbling, signed probably still, and have motion. Like, so it's not like you're investing into absolute nothing. Why not take the time to put them on billboards and actually make a difference so you have more artists in hip hop that are streaming well?
So if it's a Rap Caviar playlist, like Spencer said, it is beneficial for them to advertise artists that they know are going to be on that playlist. So rather than big up an artist that like doesn't stream as much and they wouldn't put on the playlist in general because there'd be a drop off in consumption, they're gonna big up the artists that are already on the playlist and stream on platform.
And I don't think there would be a drop off in consumption because everyone who is already listening to Rap Radar or Rap whatever the fuck this bum ass plays with Rap Caviar, whoever's subscribed to Rap Caviar and tapped into Rap Caviar didn't change because of this list. This was just a representation of all the shit they're already hearing. But if you put the young niggas on it, that's gonna make more young people go to the list.
But that's not what the list is. And so you have an issue with the conversation being had. So you would rather have Spotify pour money into a campaign that is next up as opposed to hip hop's next leaders.
Yes.
Well, okay, so I'm not mad at that, but maybe they will. Maybe the most necessary playlist is like their version. It's like the underground version of Rap Caviar. So maybe in a month we'll get a conversation sponsored by Most Necessary about Next Up. You know? But I would like to say that this was the perfect time to have a Next Leaders conversation because it's been so viral in the past like 2 months about like who's taking the next spots. Like that's been everywhere.
Spotify successfully rage baited the industry. The only people that win is Spotify.
And again, I'm so sorry to keep harping on the point, but like, you know, if you do the young niggas, bro, I think that would have reacted just as well online. If these young niggas see their favorite artist on a billboard, you know what I mean, and Spotify's promoting it, that's gonna be a conversation. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's a risk. It 100% is a risk, but I feel like it's a risk that they could have taken.
I agree. I agree. And they still might. It's just a different conversation.
But it's a more pertinent conversation than this one. Yeah. This didn't push the conversation forward. This was just getting involved in a boring way rather than like taking the next step and being, Spotify's supposed to be the best in music. You know, like go be innovative, go do something different. But yeah, it doesn't matter. Who cares? Is that everything? Wow. That was so much fun, guys. Woo! Look, I got a passion at the end. Is there any other thoughts you guys have, bro? Before we get into Patreon, guys, if you want to hear us talk about some things that aren't all music-y related, but we still might yell, subscribe to the Patreon, bro.
Gonna be talking about Shia LaBeouf today.
Real tweakers.
All the tweaker shit that he did.
Real tweakers, bro.
We're talking about
Lamar Odom, bro. I'm making them talk to me about Lamar Odom and his cocaine summers, bro. Sorry, gonna bring it up. Yeah, bro.
I was just saying I can't.
Oh, you can't read?
No, I mean I can't read, but I can be the one to announce our next topic.
All right. Anything on your hearts and minds? That's it. You feel good?
Oh, I had a random thought midweek that I was like, yo, I need to tell the podcast this. Forgot it. Sorry.
Yep. Appreciate y'all for watching, man. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Tell a friend, and we'll catch y'all next one, man. Peace.